On this week's episode, I'm going to talk with you about working while you are in school. The idea of doing both may be intimidating to you, and I'm going to convince you that it's not just possible, but that it will benefit you in many ways. I'll also give you this week's job leads, and it's the week of March 3rd through the 7th, and this is the QC Step Podcast. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the QC Step Podcast. My name is Corey Finneran. This podcast is available in video and audio. You can listen to the audio version on our website, and it's also available for free in iTunes and Stitcher. If you're watching the video version, you're probably watching on our website, and it's also available on YouTube. And if you click on the closed caption button on the video, that service is provided by YouTube. You can connect with QC Step through your social networking accounts. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's qcstep.com/Facebook and at QC Step on Twitter and Instagram. And just this week, I shared a statistic on our Facebook and Twitter, and I read that 80% of jobs are not advertised, job openings. So what that means is that for every 2 jobs you see in the newspaper or you see on qcstep.com, there are 8 job openings out there. And this is called the hidden job market. And the only way to tap into that is by networking. So there's traditional networking, talking with the people around you. You can ask your friends, your teachers, your family members if they know anybody that's hiring. And you probably have friends that are working, so ask them if their work is hiring. And then there's networking like I've talked about with many of you in your classrooms and that I talked about on the Day of Transition conference, and that is social networking. And when I've been in your classes, most of you have said that if you were looking for work and you were going to network in the traditional way of just talking with the people around you, you would maybe ask 5 or 10 people if they know of anyone that is hiring or if their work is hiring. Well, if you ask that same question on your Facebook or your Twitter account, you will reach many more people, and you're likely to get some ideas on places to apply from people that you are connected with on your social network accounts. But these are the people that you may not see every day, so you might not ask them in person. So why limit yourself to just 2 out of the 10 job openings that are advertised? Tap into the hidden job market and access the other 8. When Dawn, Gary, Carrie, and I are in schools talking with you, we hear many of you say that you are choosing to not work because you would like to focus on school. And focusing on schoolwork, that's not a bad idea at all. But today I'd like to talk with you about why I think even if you are focusing on school, you should still work. And I want to keep this conversation pretty focused, and so I'm going to give you just 2 reasons that you should work while you're in school. Number 1, working while you are in school helps you prepare for the future. So let's say that going to college is not in your future. College isn't for everyone, and there's nothing wrong with knowing that you will probably not go to Blackhawk College or any other college. If you're in that situation, you should be getting as much work experience as you can right now. You don't want to walk up onto that stage of your high school graduation and then get your diploma and wake up the next day realizing that you have a blank resume. You have no work experience. You are in the STEP and co-op program to gain work experience and to prepare you and to help you from leaving high school with no work experiences. So take advantage of the resources that you have to help you be successful with working and going to school. Your teachers are there to prepare you for the future and to help you succeed. And our STEP staff, we're here to help you. Now, I talked about why you should work while you're going to school if college is not in your future. So let's say college is in your future, whether it's a community college like Blackhawk or a 4-year program or a technical school. College is hard work, and the amount of work that it takes to be successful at that level is much greater than the work that it takes to be successful at the high school level. So by working a job while you're in high school, you can begin to prepare yourself for the added responsibilities and that added effort that it's going to take. And also, you will have expenses while you're in college, and a way to pay for that is with income. So it's much easier to make the transition to working and going to school at the same time while you're in high school rather than waiting until you start college. And if you wait until you start college to start working, you could find yourself easily overwhelmed. But if you start in high school, you'll be more prepared for the time that it takes to be successful in both. And I said that you don't want to wake up the day after a high school graduation with no work experience. Well, you definitely don't want to wake up the day after you graduate from college with no work experience. And that brings us to my second topic for this discussion, and I think this is really important. Working on a job while you're in school helps you build skills that will prepare you for life after high school. And if you're working and going to school, you will learn how to manage a schedule, and you'll learn how to prioritize your responsibilities, and you'll learn how to multitask. These are skills that you have started to develop while you're in high school, but you can really develop these skills by working while you're going to school. These are skills that you will need to master as an adult, and working on them now is a good idea because you will have the added support to help you, whether it's teachers or staff from the STEP program. The STEP and the co-op programs exist to help you transition from high school life to after high school life, and specifically through work. And doing both, work and school, can be an intimidating thing. But it's a lot of responsibility, but you will find yourself more prepared down the road if you work while you're going to school. There aren't many job leads this week, but remember what I said at the beginning of this episode. And according to that quote that I read and I shared, for every 2 job openings that are advertised, there are 8 job openings that are not advertised. So Hungry Hobo in Moline, that's the one off of John Deere Road, they're hiring, and so is the Steak and Shake in Moline. And I have a couple job leads for graduates. Lowe's in Davenport is hiring early morning stock associates, and Holland in Rock Island is hiring dock workers. And for that position, you need to apply in person March 11th, 12th, or 13th, and that's from noon to 5, and you can apply in person, and it's 8401 51st Street West. And if you would like help with any of these applications or any other applications, you can contact Gary or Carrie through your STEP or your co-op teacher, or you can email me info@qcstep.com. On last week's episode, I told you about a few job fairs that are coming up. The Blackhawk College Job Fair is on March 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and the Career Fair for people with disabilities is at the iWireless Center on April 7th, and that goes from 10 a.m. to noon, but there's a presentation every year that starts at 9 a.m., and this year I'll be doing that presentation. And last year I spent quite a few episodes leading up to these fairs, and I talked about how to dress for a job fair, how to prepare yourself for a job fair, how to greet employers, and how to follow up after the job fair. And next week, I'm going to talk with you about how to craft your elevator speech. And also, I really enjoy answering your questions on the podcast. It's been a few weeks since I had any. So if you have any questions on employment, you can email them to me, info@qcstep.com, or you can post them on our Facebook page, or you can tweet them to me. Thank you for listening and watching and downloading, and I will be back next week with another episode of the QC Step Podcast.